Earth's final warning. The transmission cut through every frequency, bypassing encryption and overriding communications across the galaxy. Fleet Admiral Jackson Vale stood before the United Earth Council, his voice carrying the weight of humanity's collective fury. To all species of the Galactic Alliance, this is Earth's final warning. For too long, we've endured your predations, your mockery, and your attempts to subjugate us. You mistook our patience for weakness, our diplomacy for fear. That ends today. In the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Alliance on Centauri Prime, High Chancellor Nexus of the Drachnid Empire laughed, his crystalline form reflecting the light of 3 suns. More empty threats from the dirt dwellers. He sneered to the assembled, representatives of 50 spacefaring civilizations. They didn't notice the slight tremor in Ambassador Roth's hands as she silently left the chamber. As Earth's representative, she alone knew what was coming. Her quantum communicator pulsed once. Protocol Prometheus activated. On Earth, deep beneath the Mariana Trench, Director Olivia Chen watched endless streams of data flow across holographic displays. All systems are go, Admiral. The Nexus defense grid is compromised. Our backdoors are in place. Humanity had learned from its past mistakes. When the Drachnid Empire first arrived, offering protection in exchange for resources, Earth had seemed to submit. When the Arcturian Collective demanded technological oversight of all human developments, Earth appeared to comply. For 20 years they played the part of the primitive species, struggling to catch up. But beneath the oceans, inside hollow moons and in the spaces between dimensions, humanity had been building, planning, waiting. The first sign came from the Drachnid homeworld's sun. Their scientists noticed the anomaly too late. Quantum entangled particles, billions of them, inserted over years of peaceful trade. With a single command, the star's magnetic field began to destabilize. This is your only chance. Vale's transmission continued. Withdraw your forces. End your exploitation. Leave us in peace. His eyes hardened. Or witness what happens when humanity stops holding back. In the Arcturian capital, Supreme Commander Vexthor dismissed the warning with a wave of his tentacles. Launch the punishment fleet. Show these humans the price of defiance. 5,000 warships, each capable of destroying a continent, emerged from hyperspace near Earth. They found nothing. Earth, the moon, Mars, all gone. Where humanity's solar system should have been, there was only empty space and a haunting message, repeating on all frequencies. We warned you. Warned. The real Earth, along with its entire solar system, had been shifted slightly out of phase with normal space-time years ago. Now, as the Arcturian fleet searched in confusion, humanity's true power revealed itself. From quantum shadows emerged ships of impossible design, dark matter drives, consciousness-powered weapons, and technologies that broke the laws of physics as the galaxy understood them. Humanity hadn't just been catching up. They had leaped centuries ahead while playing, the part of primitive newcomers. The Arcturian fleet died in silence. No distress calls, no desperate battles, just cold, efficient elimination. In his command center beneath the Pacific, Admiral Vale watched the reports flow in. Status of Phase 1. The Drachnid sun is now under our control, Director Chen reported. Their entire civilization has 12 hours before total solar failure. The Arcturian punishment fleet has been eliminated. Our quantum viruses are spreading through their networks. The Centaurian defense grid is ours. Vale nodded slowly. And the others? Most minor species are already withdrawing their forces. The Rigelian Empire is declaring neutrality. The Proxima Confederation is begging for terms. Chen's voice carried a note of grim satisfaction. They're beginning to understand. No, Vale corrected. They're beginning to fear. Understanding comes later. He opened a channel to all Earth forces. This is Fleet Admiral Vale. Operation Burning Stars is now in effect. Show them exactly what they have awakened. Across the galaxy, humanity's hidden fleets emerged. Weapons that turned physics itself against their enemies. Ships that could destroy solar systems. Armies of synthetic warriors bound to human consciousness. In the Galactic Alliance chamber, High Chancellor Nexus received the reports with growing horror. The humans hadn't been developing weapons, they'd been developing apocalypses. Ambassador Roth's final message played across every screen. We gave you a chance for peace. You chose war. Now learn why Earth's history is written in the blood of those who underestimated us. The stars were about to burn, and the galaxy would never be the same. Stars begin to burn. The Drachnid sun pulsed an angry red, its magnetic field writhing like a dying serpent. From the bridge of the Earth warship Nemesis, Commander Nathan Rodriguez watched the spectacular death of a star through quantum-shielded viewports. Behind him, holographic displays showed similar scenes playing out across 12 different systems. Time to critical failure, he asked, his voice steady despite the magnitude of what they were witnessing. Lieutenant Wei Jin, the ship's quantum physicist, consulted her neural interface. 3 hours, 17 minutes until total collapse. The Drachnid evacuation efforts are failing. She hesitated. Sir, their civilian ships are being caught in the solar flares. Rodriguez felt the weight of 40,000 years of human evolution in his next words. Open a channel to their defense fleet. The command deck fell silent as the face of Drachnid Fleet Marshal Xyrix appeared on the main screen, his crystalline features fractured with fear. Please, he began. Our civilian ships. We remember our civilians too, Rodriguez cut in. We remember when you blocked their escape from Ganymede, when you laughed at their distress calls. His dark eyes reflected the dying star. But we're not you. Transmitting safe corridor coordinates now. You have 1 hour to evacuate your civilians. After that, anyone still in the system will witness what a quantum-corrupted star really looks like when it dies. The message was clear. Humanity would have its vengeance, but it wouldn't become the monster it was fighting. Across the galaxy, Earth's hidden fleets emerged from quantum shadows. The Arcturian Collective, once proud architects of 1,000 worlds, watched in horror as their mighty defense platforms turned against them. Director Chen's quantum viruses had done more than just infiltrate their networks. They had evolved, learned, and grown hungry. In the Centauri sector, Ambassador Roth stood on the observation deck of humanity's new flagship, the Retribution. The ship itself was a testament to how thoroughly Earth had deceived its enemies. 3 kilometers of dark matter alloys and consciousness-linked weapon systems, all hidden in plain sight while humanity played the role of technological primitives. Status report, she commanded. The Arcturian Collective is in full retreat, her AI liaison, Unity, responded. Their bioorganic ships are being consumed by our viral swarms. The Proxima Confederation has surrendered unconditionally. The Rigelian Empire? Unity paused, an unusual occurrence for an AI. The Rigelians are requesting a private audience. They claim to have information about who truly orchestrated the Ganymede massacre. Roth's eyes narrowed. Forward that to Admiral Vale and Unity. Monitor all quantum frequencies. I don't want any surprises. But surprises were exactly what humanity had prepared for. When the Drachnid Empire launched a desperate counterattack using their supposedly secret Phantom fleet, they found their quantum signatures already mapped, their attack corridors predicted and trapped. The hunters had become prey, their own technology, turned against them with devastating efficiency. In his command center, Admiral Vale received the Rigelian transmission with growing interest. Play it again, he ordered, watching as the alien diplomat revealed layer after layer of conspiracy. The Ganymede attack hadn't been a simple show of force. It had been the first move in a galaxy-wide plot to prevent humanity's emergence as a true power. Director Chen, he called, are you seeing this? From her post in the Mariana Command, Chen was already analyzing the data. Confirmed, Admiral. The quantum signatures match. The Drachnids were puppets. Someone else was pulling the strings. Her fingers danced across holographic interfaces. Someone who understood exactly what humanity could become. Vale's expression hardened. Can you trace it? Better. Chen smiled grimly. I can prove it. The same quantum signature appears in the background radiation of 30 different attacks on human outposts, all supposedly carried out by different species. She paused. Sir, this goes deeper than we thought. The entire Galactic Alliance might be a construct designed to suppress emerging civilizations. The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't just stumbled into an interstellar war. They had unwittingly begun dismantling an ancient system of control. In the Drachnid system, Commander Rodriguez watched as the last civilian ships reached safe distance. The star's corona was now a writhing mass of quantum-corrupted plasma, its very atoms questioning their existence. All civilians clear, Lieutenant Jin reported. Drachnid military vessels are attempting to maintain position. Rodriguez nodded slowly. Send the final message. Across all frequencies, in every language known to the galaxy, humanity's voice rang out. We warned you about war. Now we warn you about truth. Your masters played you for fools, and we're about to show you why. The Drachnid sun exploded, not with the usual fury of a supernova, but with the calculated precision of a quantum weapon. As the light reached neighboring systems, it carried with it encrypted data, proof of the galaxy's greatest deception. The stars were burning, yes, but in their light a greater darkness was about to be revealed. The galaxy in flames deep within the quantum nexus chamber of the Retribution, Director Chen stood surrounded by streams of light that represented the flow of galactic information. Her neural implants processed data at speeds that would have driven unaugmented humans mad, piecing together a conspiracy that spanned millions of years. Show me the pattern again, she commanded. The quantum AI complied, revealing a web of connections that stretched across thousands of star systems. At its center, hidden behind layers of proxies and puppet governments, lay a truth that made her blood run cold. Admiral Vale, she transmitted. I found them. In his command center, Vale's holographic form materialized beside her. The real enemy? The architects, Chen said, her voice tight. They've been here since before humanity learned to make fire. They don't just control the Galactic Alliance, they engineered it. Every major species, every technological breakthrough, every war, she gestured at the data streams. It's all been orchestrated to prevent any civilization from discovering quantum consciousness manipulation. The one thing we developed in secret, Vale understood. The one advancement they couldn't predict or control. The revelation spread through Earth's quantum-linked fleet like wildfire. Humanity hadn't just stumbled upon advanced technology. They had accidentally broken free of an ancient program of control. The architects, a species so old they had forgotten their original form, had been shepherding galactic civilization along predetermined paths, ensuring no species ever developed the ability to challenge their dominion. Until Earth. In the Carina Nebula, Commander Rodriguez watched as another architect puppet state fell to Earth's quantum weapons. The hegemony of 7 suns, once thought unbeatable, collapsed in hours once their quantum signatures were identified and targeted. Sir, Lieutenant Jin reported, we're detecting massive energy signatures at the edge of the nebula. Unknown configuration. The architects were finally showing themselves. They emerged from quantum space like living galaxies, their true forms incomprehensible to human eyes. Ships the size of solar systems, powered by the death throes of countless stars they had harvested over millions of years. All Earth forces, Vale's voice carried across the quantum network. Execute Protocol Prometheus. Humanity's response was beautiful in its simplicity. Instead of fighting the architects' superior technology, they turned their own quantum manipulation against them. Every star the architects had seeded with control mechanisms, every planet they had shaped over millions of years, became a weapon in humanity's arsenal. Director Chen, her consciousness spread across multiple quantum substrates, led the attack. They never imagined their tools could be used against them, she transmitted. They've been gods for so long they forgot what it means to fight for survival. The battle that followed would be remembered for millennia. The architects unleashed weapons that could erase entire species from history, attempting to retroactively prevent humanity's evolution. But Earth's quantum-linked warriors existed partially outside normal space-time, protected by the very consciousness technology the architects had tried to suppress. Ambassador Roth, watching from the diplomatic deck of the Retribution, felt a fierce pride as human ingenuity faced down the gods of the galaxy. "Send the message to all species," she ordered. "Show them what their masters really are." The truth broadcasts went out, unblockable and undeniable. Across thousands of worlds, civilizations learned how they had been manipulated, their development artificially stunted, their conflicts engineered to maintain control. The architect's greatest weapon, ignorance, was burning away in the light of truth. In the Carina Nebula, Rodriguez's fleet engaged the first architect world ship. Traditional weapons were useless against something that could rewrite the laws of physics, but humanity had learned to think differently. "Target their quantum consciousness nexus," he ordered, "not with weapons, with truth." The attack was devastating in its elegance. Instead of trying to destroy the architect's superior technology, Earth's forces infected it with the one thing the ancient beings couldn't comprehend: free will. Quantum viruses carried not destruction, but choice, infecting the very consciousness of beings that had never known true independence. The first architect world ship didn't explode. It awakened. "They're fragmenting," Jen reported, wonder in her voice. "Their quantum matrix, it's experiencing individuality for the first time in millions of years." Vale's voice carried across the fleet. "All forces, hold position. Let them feel what it's like to be truly conscious." The galaxy watched in awe as the mighty architects, faces of their own godhood, experienced genuine free will for the first time. Some went mad. Others fled into the spaces between dimensions. A few, to everyone's surprise, asked to surrender. Director, Chen's quantum consciousness touched one of the awakened architect minds. The exchange that followed would be studied by philosophers for generations. A conversation between humanity's youngest quantum consciousness and the galaxy's oldest enslaved. "Mon, you've done more than defeat us," the architect communicated. "You've freed us from ourselves." The stars continued to burn, but now they burned with possibility. The galaxy was changing, consciousness by consciousness, choice by choice. Humanity hadn't just won a war, they had sparked a revolution of awareness that would reshape the very nature of cosmic civilization. And this was only the beginning. No more mercy. The quantum projection showed a galaxy in chaos. Admiral Vale studied the swirling hologram, watching as entire civilizations rose in rebellion against their former masters. But amid the revolution, darker patterns emerged. "Director Chen," he called, "show me the betrayer worlds." The hologram shifted, highlighting dozens of systems in blood red. These weren't innocent puppets of the architects. These were the knowing collaborators, species who had willingly aided in humanity's attempted subjugation, who had laughed as Earth colonies burned, who had participated in the Great Deception for their own profit. "They're attempting to delete their quantum records," Chen reported, her consciousness simultaneously present in hundreds of data streams. "Trying to hide evidence of their willing participation." Vale's expression hardened. "Can they succeed?" "No." Chen's avatar smiled grimly. "We have everything. Every transmission, every order, every credit transfer. They knew about Ganymede beforehand. They helped plan it. The evidence was damning. While most species had been unwitting pawns of the architects, some had been eager partners in the conspiracy. The Drachnid High Command had specifically requested the honor of destroying Ganymede. The Arcturian Collective had volunteered to test new weapons on human civilian targets. The Proxima Confederation had grown wealthy trading in human suffering. All Earth forces, Vale's transmission carried the weight of humanity's judgment. Operation Righteous Fire is now in effect. No mercy for the willing executioners. Commander Rodriguez aboard the Nemesis received the target coordinates with cold satisfaction. "Set course for the Drachnid capital," he ordered. "Let's show Dao them what real consequences look like." The Drachnid home system had barely recovered from their sun's quantum corruption. Now they faced something worse: humanity's focused retribution. The Nemesis emerged from quantum space, leading a fleet of Earth's most advanced warships. But they didn't open fire immediately. "Open all frequencies," Rodriguez commanded. "Let them hear the truth first." Across the Drachnid worlds, quantum projectors activated, showing irrefutable evidence of their leaders' willing collaboration with the architects. Ordinary citizens watched in horror as their trusted officials gleefully planned the massacre of human civilians bargaining for favors with their human blood money. "You have 1 hour," Rodriguez transmitted. "Surrender the guilty or share their fate." Similar scenes played out across other collaborator worlds. The Arcturian collective, faced with proof of their atrocities, tried to flee into quantum space. They found every escape route blocked by human quantum consciousness technology. Their own secret passages turned into traps. Ambassador Roth, coordinating the diplomatic aspects of humanity's retribution, received desperate pleas for mercy from former tormentors. "Director Chen," she called, "are you recording all this?" "Every second," Chen confirmed. "Future generations need to understand both the price of betrayal and the cost of justice." Lieutenant Jin, monitoring quantum space from the Nemesis, detected something unexpected. "Sir, civilian transmissions from multiple targeted systems, they're turning against their own governments." The revolution had taken an unexpected turn. On many betrayer worlds, the general population, horrified by the revealed truth, began hunting down their guilty leaders. The Drachnid civilian fleet actively blocked their military's attempts to escape. Arcturian colony worlds transmitted the locations of hidden leadership bunkers. But some remained defiant. The Proxima Confederation leadership, entrenched in their quantum-shielded fortress worlds, chose to fight. Their response to humanity's ultimatum was brief. "You were meant to be cattle. We only regret failing to slaughter you sooner." Vale's reply was equally brief. "Wish granted." The attack that followed wasn't mere warfare. It was the unleashing of humanity's most terrifying weapons. Quantum consciousness viruses that drove entire populations insane. Time dilation fields that trapped planets in endless moments of terror. Dimensional shears that simply erased strategic targets from existence. "Sir," Jin reported, her voice shaking, "the Proxima leadership, they're experiencing every death they ever ordered, simultaneously, in an infinite loop." Rodriguez watched the quantum feeds with grim satisfaction. "Poetic justice, Lieutenant. Let the galaxy see what happens to those who choose to be monsters." The lesson wasn't lost on the watching worlds. One by one, the remaining betrayer governments fell, torn down by their own people or obliterated by Earth's revenge. The galaxy witnessed a clear message. Humanity would show mercy to the deceived but absolute devastating justice to the willing oppressors. In the quantum nexus, Director Chen monitored the final stages of the operation. "Admiral, we're detecting unusual activity among the captured architect world ships. The freed ones are evolving." Vale's consciousness touched the quantum network. What he found there was unexpected. The liberated architects, experiencing true free will for the first time, were choosing sides. Many were actively helping track down their former collaborators, seemingly driven by a new understanding of justice. Let them help, he decided. Let everyone see that even gods can learn the difference between right and wrong. As the operation continued, humanity's reputation transformed. They were no longer seen as merely powerful or vengeful, but as something more complex. Liberators who could show infinite mercy or absolute justice, depending on the crimes committed against them. The stars burned with a different kind of fire now, not just destruction, but purification. The galaxy was learning that humanity's final warning hadn't just been about power or revenge. It had been about justice, truth, and the price of willing collaboration with evil, and that price was being paid in full. Ashes of the old order. 1 year after Earth's final warning, Admiral Vale stood in the newly constructed chamber of Galactic Assembly on Mars, watching representatives from 1,000 worlds gather. The chamber itself was a testament to humanity's new philosophy, built with quantum consciousness technology that made lies impossible within its walls. "Are we ready?" he asked softly. Director Chen's quantum presence materialized beside him, her consciousness, now permanently existing in both physical and quantum space. "The last delegations are arriving now. Even some of the reformed architects have chosen to attend." The galaxy had changed beyond recognition. Where once stood the manipulated hierarchies of the architect's design, now rose something unprecedented, a true fellowship of species, united not by force or deception, but by shared understanding of their past and hope for their future. Commander Rodriguez, recently promoted to Fleet Marshal, approached with Lieutenant Jin, now Earth's chief quantum physicist. "The security protocols are active," he reported. "No weapons, no hidden quantum signatures, no deceptions possible within this space." "Then let's begin," Vale decided. The assembly chamber hummed with tension as Vale took the central podium. Above him, quantum displays showed real-time images from across the galaxy, worlds being rebuilt, species cooperating in ways the architects had always prevented, and the still-burning remnants of those who had chosen extinction over acceptance of the new order. "1 year ago," Vale began, his voice carrying to every corner of known space through quantum channels, "humanity delivered its final warning. We promised consequences for continued aggression against Earth. What followed was not just war, it was revelation, revolution, and reformation." The assembled representatives, some physical, some quantum projections, listened in perfect silence. Among them sat freed architects, their incomprehensible forms now voluntarily limited to allow communication with younger species. We discovered that the galaxy's greatest enemy was not hate or fear, but controlled evolution. The architects, in their ancient wisdom, sought to prevent chaos by preventing growth. They created an ordered galaxy, but one without true consciousness, without real choice. A freed architect, one who had taken the name Unity, rose to speak. Its voice resonated through quantum space. "We believed we were preserving order. Instead, we were stifling the very thing that makes consciousness precious, the right to choose, to grow, to become more than what we planned." Director Chen stepped forward, her quantum form shimmering. "But choice comes with responsibility. We've seen how some species, when faced with truth, chose redemption. Others chose annihilation. The galaxy now bears the scars of those choices." The quantum displays showed the graveyard of worlds, planets where governments had chosen destruction over submission to justice. Not all stories had happy endings. "Today," Vale continued, "we established the quantum concordat. Not an empire, not a hierarchy, but a true alliance of conscious beings. Earth doesn't seek to rule. We seek to ensure that what happened under the architects can never happen again." Lieutenant Jin activated the central quantum matrix, displaying the concordat's core principles. Absolute truth in the quantum realm, unrestricted technological development, free exchange of knowledge, and immediate response to any attempt at species-wide suppression. "But," Rodriguez added, his voice carrying the weight of recent battles, "let this chamber also stand as a reminder. Earth's warning still stands. We will not tolerate the strong preying on the weak. We will not allow the rise of new would-be gods. And we will not show mercy to those who choose to repeat the mistakes of the past." The quantum displays shifted, showing the Earth fleet, now expanded and evolved beyond even what they had revealed. In the initial conflicts, humanity's power had grown, but so had their understanding of its proper use. A young species representative, from a world once terrorized by the Drachnids, stood to speak. "We fought against Earth, deceived by our masters. Earth defeated us, then helped rebuild our world. They showed us the difference between vengeance and justice. We stand with Earth not out of fear, but out of respect for what they chose to become." Unity, the freed architect, added its own testimony. "In all our millions of years of existence, we never imagined that our salvation would come from being defeated. Humanity didn't just overpower us. They awakened us. They showed us that true order comes from conscious choice, not imposed control." Vale raised his hand and the quantum matrix activated its final protocol. Across the galaxy, new quantum networks activated, linking all species in a web of shared consciousness and absolute truth, not imposed but offered, not controlled but free. The stars burned in war, Vale concluded, but from their ashes we build something new, not a perfect galaxy, but a free one, not a peaceful galaxy, but a just one. Earth's warning will stand, for as long as necessary, but today we offer something more than warnings. We offer hope. The chamber erupted in agreement, quantum signatures pulsing with shared purpose. The old order was gone, burned away in the fires of war and truth. What rose from those ashes was something the architects, in all their ancient wisdom, had never imagined. A galaxy of truly free, truly conscious beings, united not by force or fear but by choice. And in the quantum streams that connected all conscious life, Earth's final warning remained, not as a threat, but as a promise. Never again would any species face extinction for daring to evolve. Never again would progress be stifled by those who feared change. The stars had burned in war, but now they shone with possibility. The galaxy was free, and humanity stood ready to ensure it remained so forever.